Hello. Today I will be showcasing some more Piggy build mode concepts. But first, I added some more features since last time. First, if you press R/T while using the move tool, the block will rotate. I mentioned that people wanted me to make a rotate tool last time, so I hope this is a good enough alternative. However, I think a rotate tool would actually be really cool because you could maybe rotate a block by 45 degrees instead of 90 degrees increments, so comment if you want an actual rotate tool. And I know that the R/T on move tool was already added in the most recent update, but I made this before that released. For our next feature, I added a grid snap change. As you could see, at the bottom right corner, there is an input box where you could type any positive number. Then, when you use the move/scale tool, the grid can be adjusted to your liking. The default snap is 4. I think Epic Tank actually had an idea like this, though, so we might actually be getting it in future updates. It's not confirmed, so don't attack me if it doesn't ever come out, lol. But as you can see, you don't need offsets anymore with this feature. And it's much better than using offsets because it's faster, and you could get multiple axes off the grid instead of being limited to getting one axis off the grid at a time. As you can see, it also works with scaling, however it is very buggy. I'll work on fixing that. This next one isn't really a feature but more of a bug fix, but in the last few videos, if I was staying in one place too long while not clipping, I would drift away. This is now fixed. Also, a lot of you guys asked me to make it public, so I decided to. You can find a link to the game in the description. Keep in mind that there's still a lot of bugs in it and it's not perfect though. And for those of you who want me to uncopylock it, I'd honestly rather make tutorials because with tutorials, you're actually doing the work and learning scripting from it. But anyways, let's get on to the concepts. First we have the colorable keys/doors, suggested by Sussy was here and Shawnee loves waffles. I also made the door frames separate from the doors so you could color one thing at a time. Obviously, how this concept would work is that if a key and door's lock have the same color, the door will open. I kind of rushed to get this one out, so it doesn't work when you try clicking on the door while having the key in your inventory. I'll try to add that soon, though. As you can see, if you pick up the key and use it on the corresponding door, it will open. And there we go, that's it for the colored key/door system. One feature that I forgot to mention is that I also added sounds for when you place or remove a block. As you can see, in the Assets menu, I added links. This is the main reason why it took so long for me to post, but it will allow me to do so much more of your ideas. Like the mid-cutscene block, which has been suggested a lot. But anyways, we now have the click trigger block, suggested by Roblox game Make and Jolt team. It works similarly to the prompt block, but you have to click on it to release a signal. For example, let's connect this click trigger as well as a lever to an OR gate. By the way, I'm not going to showcase all of the existing links, but if you want to tinker with them, you can play the concept game. There are 3 variables: the maximum distance you have to be at to click it, the image that your cursor becomes when you hover over it, and how long the signal will sustain for. While the signal is activated, you cannot click it, just like the prompt block. Now, let's change the signal length. As you can see, the OR gate turns on for 1 second, then turns back off once the signal is gone. Now let's change the cursor icon. As promised in my last video, we're going to use Jord 404 for this. Now, when you hover over the click trigger, your cursor turns into Jord 404. I don't know why people would want to change the cursor icons, but it's an option. Maybe if they want to recreate the gears from Book 1 Chapter 1, they can make the cursor look like gears or something. But anyways, if your character is not within the set maximum distance, you will not be able to click the block. So, that's it for the click trigger. I think I did a pretty good job at replicating the link system, but if you find any flaws with the functionality, please let me know. I see people commenting about how inaccurate the GUI is, but I'm only worried about the functionality. Anyways, for the next concept, we have the move block. Again, I think Epic Tank made this already, so mine is heavily inspired by his. This concept was suggested by Crafter285. How it works is that you have a move block and a move reference. You link the move block to the move reference, and then once the move block is activated, it would smoothly tween to the position/orientation of the reference block. There are 6 variables: the time it takes to get the block to the reference, the easing style, the easing direction, the repeat count, whether it reverses or not, and whether it should pause or reset on deactivation. I'll leave the testing up on the screen while I move on to another topic. So, recently, someone in my Discord server, who I won't name out of respect, told me that they have official assets from build mode. Now, if what they are saying is true, then chances are, somebody obtained them from exploiting. I'm not saying the person in my Discord server did, but they probably got the assets from an exploiter. I really don't like to see that happen because if the game is copylocked, the owner, Minitoon, obviously doesn't want you to steal his assets, so it's pretty much immoral to use them while aware that they are stolen. No hate to the person in my server, because chances are, they probably didn't know that they were stolen. In fact, one reason why my concept game GUI looks a lot different from the official game is because I want to make it clear that I did not steal assets and am doing this from scratch. But onto a new topic, like I mentioned earlier, I'd rather make a tutorial series on how to make a build mode type game rather than uncopylocking it. I also don't want to go through the pain of making my project user-friendly for anyone because that would take a lot of time. I'm all for the tutorial idea though, it would be much more beneficial for you guys, the viewers, and would not be too hard for me to make. Now that those two topics are out of the way, let me present a better showcase of the move block. Okay, we are going to create an obby stage type system using a NOT gate, timer, looper, and these move blocks. Okay, so we first made the move block and the reference as well as an end platform. Now, let's make it so that the block moves back and forth between these platforms forever by setting the repeat count to -1 and turning the reverse setting on. Oops, we forgot to actually link something to it. Let's link a NOT gate to it so that it stays activated. Voila! As you can see, it continuously moves back and forth between the two platforms. There are two problems, though. For one, it's too fast. For two, it doesn't stop at each platform before moving again, which doesn't give you enough time to get on the moving block. First, let's decrease the speed by increasing the time. We fixed the first issue so now it's not too fast, but let's also make it stop at each platform before moving again. Let's connect a NOT gate, timer, and looper in a row. The timer isn't necessary but it gives me time to get on the platform before it starts the cycle. As you can see, the mechanism works. I set the timer time to 2 seconds, and the looper interval to 2 seconds. This means that every 2 seconds, the moving block will stop moving every 2 seconds, then 2 seconds later, it would start moving again and repeat the process. Perfect. Anyways, that was it for today, thank you for watching, and like always, if you have any suggestion that you want to see, please comment it. And if you didn't see your suggestion in this video, just know that I acknowledged all of the previous comments and will eventually get to them. Bye.